Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, uh, today we will talk about Australian region and it is lecture number 30. So in this lecture, we will talk about the extent of Australian region, then the physical feature of Australian region, the climate of Australian region, zoological characteristics of Australian region, then the mammals of Australian region, the bird fauna of Australian region, reptilian fauna of Australian region, amphibian fauna of Australian region, and fish fauna of Australian region. And at the last, we will talk about the affinities of Australian region with other regions. Lecture outcome. So by watching and listening to this lecture, students will know about the geography and zoo geography of Australian region. This is also known as region of kangaroos. The people of this region are also known as kangaroos, and another island which is also included in this region, New Zealand. So the people of that region is known as kiwis. Like Australian cricket team is also known as kangaroos, and New Zealand cricket team are also known as the kiwis. So first we will talk about the extent of Australian region. Australian region include the whole of Australia by itself, the continent of Australia, also Tasmania. It also include the New Guinea and a few smaller islands of Indonesian archipelago. So it's an old chain of archipelago mean old chain of islands. So Indonesian archipelago is a very long chain comprising of more than 2,000 or more than that islands. New Zealand is oceanic islands of Pacific are treated separately by many workers. Like some scientists, they are of the opinion that New Zealand and some of the oceanic islands which lies in the Pacific Ocean are not the part of Australian region, but in this very chapter we will like include these regions or these islands and the New Zealand into the Australian region. The climate and physical feature of this region. So Australian region is like Australian region in the northwest is separated from Oriental region by imaginary Willis line. So we already talked in the previous lecture about the Willis line. Willis line is an imaginary line drawn by Willis, Albert Russel Willis, for the demarcation of the two regions, like the Oriental and the Australian region. And this line start between Bali and Lombok, then goes straight toward the Borneo, and it goes through the Borneo and the Celebes between them, and then goes to the east of the Philippines, dividing the two regions into Oriental region and into the Australian region. So it's an area of demarcation in the northwest. And one thing should be very clear, like for example, Australia was probably like colonized from Asia by land bridge. So we already discussed it in the land bridge theory and also in the continental drift theory that before the drifting, all the continents they were like organized into one main land that was known as Pangaea, and then it divided into two, the Laurasia and the Gondwana land. But still these were connected, and slowly and gradually they become disconnected, and this disconnection like it occurs late in Jurassic and in Cretaceous period. So till then the Australia was colonized like because there was a bridge. So through that bridge animals from Asia, they migrated from the Oriental region or from any other region, migrated and dispersed into the like Australia. But there is one problem, like before the origination of modern mammals, the placental mammals, Australia got separated from the mainland, and that's why today we don't have any placental forms of animals in Australian region, though there are like primitive mammals like the eutherians and the metatherians are there, the marsupial animals are there, but the monotremes, the egg-laying mammals are also there, but placental mammals are absent from Australia. So maybe it's the reason that why placental mammals are not present in Australia. But the thing is, scientists they claim that the animals in Australia are actually colonized from Asia through land bridge. So at present, it has no land connection with any other region. Mean Australia don't have any connection with mainland. Uh, but the Malayan archipelago reach very near to Australia, and as I imagine that it would have been complete in the past, connecting Oriental and Australian region. So the islands between the Oriental region and Australian region, or Asia and Australia, like there are many thousands of islands. So in the past, these islands were joined together, making a bridge between the two areas, which is now lost. So so you can see in this image and this map, you can see like this is Australian region, the whole of Australia, this is New Guinea, this is Tasmania, and this is New Zealand, and these are the islands of the Pacific, and here is the imaginary line of the Welles which separate it from Oriental region. And let's talk about the rest of them in another in this map. Okay, so this is Asia and this is Australia, and these are the Indonesian archipelago islands. So scientists they are of the thought, or they claim that these islands, these were connected and making a bridge between these two, mean Asia and Australia, and through that bridge animals from Asia colonized, they migrated through that bridge into the Australia. Now today this bridge is not present, but still one thing is important to note, that these islands still work as a hopping bridge between the two regions, the Oriental and the Australian, because animals can hop from one island, those animals which can migrate, which can go, which have the ability to survive harsh climates, and which can endure harsh environments. Like for example, they can swim, or they for the animals which can fly, there is no problem. But we are talking about the land animals, or like mammals and reptiles and amphibians. So they may jump from one island to another, and then from another to another, and reach here, or they may jump from here to through many islands and reach Australia. So it is thought that this connection was lost when before the evolution of the placental mammals, as I told you earlier. So when primitive mammals, marsupial and monotremes evolved, they approached to Australia because the bridge was there, but it became disconnected before the origination of placental mammals, so they were not able to reach there. The placental mammals you see there in Australia today, like pigs, dogs, and rodents, they were they were introduced by the human beings, so they are not not natural. They were introduced by human beings actually. Birds, and they are good flyers, so they can cross sea barriers, and there is no problem for them. So for climate of Australia is concerned, so Australian region is partially tropical because some of its portion lies in the tropical region, and partially it is temperate. So some like New Guinea and the northern Australia is tropical, and the Tasmania, New Zealand, and the southern Australia it is temperate. So New Guinea and the northern parts of Australia it is tropical with fairly high summer temperatures, and they are covered with luxuriant, rich tropical forests are there. Like New Guinea is very rich in forests. Southern Australia is temperate with forest of eucalyptus are there, eucalyptus forests are there, and mixed hardwood forests are there. Interior, the center of Australia is hot with arid plains and deserts are there. Australian deserts are there. And Tasmania is cold temperate because it's very near to the pole. Uh, Zoological characteristics. So as far as the zoological characteristics are concerned, there are 134 families of terrestrial vertebrates. Of these 134 families, and 30 of them are peculiar to this region. So we have 134 terrestrial vertebrate families in this region, and of these 134 families, 30 are peculiar to this region. So first of all, we talk about mammals. So higher placental mammals are absent from this region, as we talked about it. Dominant mammalian fauna is actually represented by primitive forms like marsupials and monotremes. Monotremes are like egg-laying mammals. So the duck-billed platypus and another one, the spiny anteater. So the 8 families of marsupials and monotremes are peculiar to this region. These are those monotremes or the primitive mammals, marsupials. The examples of them are there are Macropodidae. So this family is of kangaroos and it's a marsupial. Phalangeridae, phalangers also marsupials. Fasciculomidae, so these are wombats, and again these are marsupials. Paramelidae, bandicoots, they are also marsupials, and these are endemic to Australia. Notorectidae, so marsupial moles, they are also marsupials. Dasyuridae, Dasyurus, they are also marsupials. Echinidae, so Echinidae and Ornithorhynchus, the platypus. Echinidia and the Ornithorhynchus, the platypus, these two are like monotremes. They are egg-laying mammals. These are not marsupials, they are egg-laying mammals. They are also endemic to this region. Marsupials are also found in America, but monotremes are present only and only they are restricted to Australian region. Now let's talk about the bird fauna of this region. So 17 families of birds are actually peculiar to these regions, and of those peculiar birds, there are birds of paradise, bowerbirds, honey eaters, drapins, scrub birds, own parrots, cargo, crown pigeons, tooth-billed pigeons, kiwis, emus and cassowaries. These are endemic to this region. Now let's talk about the general fauna, the general bird fauna. So these lorises, lories, cockatoos, passerine birds, kingfishers, flower pickers, and these are common. Like they are found in many other regions of the world, and also they are present in this region. And now these birds, the falling birds, they are absent from this region. So pheasants are absent from this region. Woodpeckers are absent from Australian region. Barbets are not present here, and finches are also absent from this region. So there were 17 peculiar species. Then there are these 5 common birds which are present here and also in the rest of the world. And these are absent. These 4 species of birds or families of birds are absent from Australian region. Then let's talk about reptiles. So 3 families of reptiles are exclusive, which are not present anywhere in the world. Pygopodidae, the scale-footed lizard, is exclusive to this region. Heteridae, Tautara, it's exclusively found in this region. And let me tell you that Tautara is exclusively found in New Zealand. So it's exclusive, and the kiwis are also exclusive to New Zealand, but you can say they are endemic to Australia because New Zealand is a part of Australian region. Kertokelidi is flying river turtles, so they are also exclusive to this region. So now, the common reptilian fauna, which is present here and also in the world, is Spinodon, the geckos, Varanus, the Komodo dragon, crocodiles, alligators, gavials, tortoises, python snakes are common here. And with that, 250 species of small lizards are also present here. The amphibian fauna. So in an amphibian fauna, we have frogs in this region, we have toads in this region. Hyla tree frogs are represented by 100 species in this region. So the 100 species of Hyla are present in Australian region. And tailed amphibians are absent from this region. So there is no gymnophiona, tailed amphibian mean the chordata are absent from this region. Among fishes, freshwater fish fauna are represented by like lungfish, there is New Ceratodus, which is found in the rivers of Queensland. Queensland is a region, is a place in Australia. In the last, we will talk about the affinities of this region. So Australian region is actually characterized by very primitive forms like the marsupials and the monotremes. Some parts of fauna, like a few frogs, turtles, marsupials resemble neotropical region. In some of the animals of this region, they resemble neotropical region. And why it resemble, you know the answer to that question. While terrestrial fauna, like many birds and placental mammals, match with oriental region, and in the very start I told you why. It shows less similarity with Ethiopian region, and these are the references. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and keep in mind you have to draw the map of Australian region on a white big chart using pencil. You have to write down the names of the animals, both endemic and common in this region. And in the last, another homework for you guys is to download and search all the pictures, images of those animals we discussed in this region and make a file of that. Thank you so much.